waffling.
It stops you.
Wait,
Broken it.
Waffling.
I think that's what they call in physics
no.
the three-body
It
problem.
just can't handle it anymore.
Uh-oh. No, you can't help yourselves.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you can't help yourselves. It's gonna never end.
So you're just
doing it.
adding weight on. So
Yeah,
that
but
just
when there's
shows
just
that
two of us,
working
it's
well.
really bizarre. It's like we're doing some strange
It's back and
dance.
forth.
It's called waffling.
It's like it's harmonizing.
It's the waffle dance. That's what it is. Look, I'm not doing anything.
Like crab rave, it's waffle rave. Waffle rave.
Oh my
That is
God.
funny.
Crab rave.
Space.
That's great.
Oh, I love that.
Welcome,
Oh
everybody.
my.
Welcome to
Well, I guess I'll do an intro for the sake of the stream, right? Welcome to Tech Waffle. We do this once a week. Was inspired by, a
Ryan
bunch of
Spigot has joined the
spin-off
space.
tangents we ended up on in
Cosine
some
can
other
join the space.
AMA events.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Whoever
now.
whoever said that, I can
Okay,
hear you just
You
fine.
can hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
I went
Yes.
through. Good. Okay. Steam.
Welcome.
Steam didn't
But yeah,
work.
so we
Question
just
did.
basically waffle,
Right.
right? That's what this event is about. Occasionally you take a break, you take a breather just for a second from the waffle to just acknowledge the waffle by saying something along the lines of, "Sorry, I'm waffling," and then everybody claps their hands and we all jump up and down on the table. That's how it works.
Waffling.
Gotta keep the waffle going.
I don't know. I possibly have an idea for a topic to
Zellringer
talk
has
about or
joined
to
the
kick us
space.
off, let's say. But maybe do
point.
something different. Maybe I'll put it out to the audience, right? Let's see if anybody has anything they think we should talk about. Anything you think you've seen recently, you think is quite interesting.
Me.
Go ahead, Ark.
Oh,
Rejoice for your
Shout it
work,
out.
Couple weeks-
Overlord Ghost
About a week
Droid
ago,
has
there was a
joined the
conversation
space.
in one of the VR YouTube the VR YouTubers. They do like their little like almost equivalent of a tech waffle that they do.
Donnie 53
They were
has
talking about
joined the
where we
space.
could be if the Quest 3 had eye tracking with foveated rendering and how that was a missed opportunity. With that in mind, with what Zuck said, a couple weeks ago about the Quest 3 versus the Apple Vision Pro, and that the future of the Quest line is going to have foveated rendering with eye tracking. At least that's what I've heard. What does the future then of sunsetting like the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 mean as far as like, does it make sense to give the Quest 3 ever properly a time if it's in the sun the same way we're in the age of the Quest 2 right now? Does it make sense to not start kind of transitioning then toward that being the future of a standalone VR if we know that eventually we're all going to have just, foveated rendering with eye tracking, which, allegedly, brings down the system requirements, and kind of just treat the Quest 3 as kind of like more of a Quest 2.5 than a proper next generation headset, if I'm making sense with that. I know I'm kind of waffling there.
2.5.
that's what it's all
Professional.
about.
Professional
Quest 3
waffle.
Lite.
Well
Quest
done.
3 Lite would be a 2.5. Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, right. So Quest 3 doesn't have eye tracking. Quest 3 Lite is unlikely to have eye tracking because it's supposed to be.
But Quest 4 probably will.
A budget device. Quest 4, maybe the
if
next
they can get the cost
generation
down.
probably will. I think cost is the major thing, really. And I think it's fair to say Facebook has subsidized pretty much every headset they've made for the last while, except for the Quest Pro, maybe,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
But
That's definite, yeah.
so I think it's possibly down to that, right? That the cost of having something that can work well enough, the cost of whatever additional cameras and
I think the Quest 4
SoCs,
will
silicon.
have eye tracking. 100%.
I mean, it probably will.
should.
Well, what
It
happens
should.
is these things become standardized. They become sort of incorporated into a
Yeah.
larger sort of a piece, and then they just become cheaper because they're mass produced eventually, and then
Pancake
you
lenses.
just have it sort of
The-
all
the-
Let's get
potentially
those
built
pancake
in.
lenses in the-
Refinisher
I
has
So then
think
how do we
there's
sunset the
several-
Quest 3?
Yeah,
If that's the end goal, though.
lots of pancakes.
From a
Just
soft
drop the
that's the thing.
perspective.
You're gonna. I mean, what you'll find is that the Quest 4 might have, let's say, a performance boost just in the typical increment you get with, the next whatever, right? But it'll also have this, which will give it potentially another boost again. So at some point, we'll all be looking back at the Quest 3 and we'll go, "Oh, that's such a crappy
Ellen
device.
has
It's so
joined the
difficult to have to
space.
support that because it has all the problems." Even though right now today it's the it's the powerhouse, right? Compared to
Yeah.
anything else. At some point in the
Oculus
future, we're going to see
One
something
got
that
cut off.
takes advantage of that, right? I mean, yeah, we look at Quest 1 right now, but
It got cut off
when the
recently.
Quest
Most
when
titles.
Quest 1
Now,
was
the new one.
Let me megaphone you
Really?
there, Zeffy.
Yeah, actually there is a surprising amount of titles that are still supported on Quest, like Oculus One. I'm like, how is it working? Because I do have it as well. And it says Oculus on the front, not Meta. It doesn't have a Meta symbol, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's working because I could not put that thing on my head ever again. The one, I could never
Yes.
put it on my head again. So who's
Well, you
doing
kind of
it?
find that, don't you?
Who's doing it?
Oh yeah, I think there are loads of issues with eye tracking. One is if you have it controllerless, like Apple have, then the problem is you have to look at the UI object that you're manipulating, and that's not what we naturally do. You naturally look
It's not exclusively that though. They've
at
got a
something
hybrid
else. That's
system.
yeah, it is. Yeah, you can have controllers, but the primary way of
No, you can
controlling
use
it
your hands
is
to pinch as well. Like you can grab things.
yeah, yeah.
Are we
and-
still
Yeah,
touch
but it's
phobiated?
mostly. Oh, I see what you mean. But it's a mixture of
Mostly,
both. But
yeah.
to select,
mainly,
yeah, but
you're
to
right.
select the UI object, you look at it and then you use your hands to
Mhm.
manipulate it. And the problem is that naturally we look at the contents of typically a window in their case, and then you're not looking, for instance, at a scroll bar while you're looking at the contents of the window normally. So, and
Mhm.
I think the jury's out whether you have to adapt to that. The other big issue with eye tracking, I think, is privacy. There's a huge amount of room for app developers to misuse eye tracking data. There's just a
Wow.
colossal amount you can learn from what
Hmm.
are completely you look at things without thinking about it, and you can
Yeah.
gather huge amounts by putting things in people's field of vision and then seeing how they look at it, and that's a whole battle we're going to have. I think cost is obviously an issue of putting eye trackers in a low-end device, and that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
But it's coming.
So with foveated rendering, it's just inside like cameras. How many cameras does it need to do this with? Like what?
You just need the camera
Probably
per
two.
eye,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably
Just
two.
two.
But then
Okay.
you need some processing to do it, and then
Yeah.
there's also a trade-off. How much, as processors get better, how much are we going to need foveated rendering? There's kind of two
we brought
graphs
this up
going on.
last week on the last
Glenn
tech
has
waffle,
joined
which
the
is ideal. I can reiterate some of the points I made there. I think that I don't think it was last week. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. But I think that all headsets will eventually have eye tracking, right? Everyone will, once it becomes the manufacturing of it becomes the manufacturing of it becomes cheaper because everybody's starting to use it more. The supply chains are there to actually develop the micro components needed to make these things work and be cheap. Like all of them will have them there eventually, and the trade-off for having this extra bit of kit in the headset will make you can reduce the performance of the headsets and you can have lower performance headsets. So the trade-off is a big win once you're able to put these in every headset you can. I think it's a big win for everybody, and also the
We don't
social
want these
aspect too.
Hot things in front of our
I
eyes.
wonder
These
whether the
huge,
social
hot,
aspect will for
things.
some people be a disadvantage. I don't know, but will
I
it take
think
some of
it'll
the
be-
comfort away from being in VR? That's some, particularly if you find the real world more difficult, will actually eye tracking make VR
Well, think of it
more
like this, right?
uncomfortable for some?
Say-
I don't
say
know.
you're looking at-
I don't know.
Say we're on the tables there, mind.
Virtual_Lee has joined the
You're right.
space.
I don't know where. Sorry, it's totally
John, yeah, uncomfortable.
sidetracked
social.
there with the fact that you were looking at the stage there the whole time, and we're not there.
These guys are the nice. What,
Yeah, yeah.
hey,
Yep.
guys.
They're
One of
all
what are you doing?
standing.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
One
Hello.
of the things I
Yeah,
want to do
look-
is eventually
the
play
whole audience
guitar
could go up on
VR
stage and we could stand
with
down here.
actual
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
full all
Turn it
finger tracking,
around.
all
Take
finger
it away,
tracking.
Donnie.
Every finger. Finger tracking.
oh no, you scared him. You scared the little eggplant.
We were gonna talk onto body tracking, right, and some of that stuff.
Yeah, body tracking's a good topic to talk about. I'd say, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I was talking about
I mean,
finger tracking. I'm really excited because I play guitar and I play drums. So if I can get all my fingers to track in the game, I would. Oh, I've tried paradiddle. It didn't really work that well.
But-
I think that
But
just
but
came out,
TLDR, right? Overall,
Yeah,
with eye
that's it.
tracking, you've got the performance benefits, but then you've also got the social presence. So they're big wins overall for all of VR, right? So I think that all headsets need to start thinking about having it in there as kind of like a standard. Yeah.
That's
the word.
tracking.
But
too.
anyway, I'm waffling.
That's
There we
coming
go.
out.
I said it.
That's coming out.
That's
soon.
Even though I
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
waffling.
We're always waffling, Bob. It's always
Mhm.
waffle. Every last bit of it.
I think you're
We stand on
wrong.
the shoulders of waffling giants.
I'm wrong.
Oh,
Here we
here
go.
we
Hot
go.
take from Aline.
Here
we
go.
go.
Hot take.
Yeah, get in
Let's
there.
Guy
Aline.
needs some butter.
Go ahead, Aline.
No, I just want to talk bullshit. Go ahead.
Oh, go,
Okay.
go. This is
Yeah, talk about shit.
Another
Even
term-
if it's
another
like a
word for
devil's
bullshit
advocate
is
position,
waffle.
right? I like this kind of stuff. If anybody's got like a devil's advocate position on anything that
What do
we
you think
talk
about
about,
eye
feel
tracking?
free to
Is
chuck it in
worth
there.
Is it beneficial? Is it good for humanity?
Good for humanity. As long as there's
Absolutely.
piracy,
I would
privacy.
prefer.
Privacy.
I would prefer eye tracking to color pass through on Quest 3.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hot
Interesting.
take. I
That is quite
actually
interesting.
agree.
That
I-
is-
I agree. I
I-
actually agree
I
on
think
that.
I think
Oh,
we
wow.
haven't seen what color pass through
Oh.
can offer yet. It's early days for those apps.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's going to be great things coming, and we just
I
haven't
wonder-
had the
cameras.
killer app yet.
4K
Does
cameras on
anybody
the
here?
outside. Yeah.
Anybody
It'll
own a
be
Vario
different with
by
4K
any
cameras,
chance?
maybe.
Anybody in the
Did you
room
guys
is
see that
is
trick they're
Tokra
making
here?
their
Tokra's got a
Tokra,
Vario, right?
Tokra, where are you?
No Tokra.
No Tokra.
There's a
Tokra's got
chance that the
Vario.
Vario
You
might
guys ever
have
see that
the
tech where they're
standard
making
in
nerve
terms
tracking?
of pass through. Relatively, Quest 3's got 4 megapixel
got 12
cameras. Vision Pro's
megapixels,
got
right?
6,
Yeah.
and then it's 12 or 13 megapixel, I think, on
Mhm.
the
That's
on the
great.
Vario.
That's what
So
you need. That's the
might
minimum.
be. I've tried the Lynx R1, and it's pass through, right? It's basically aiming in a similar sort of a utility
Sudden
functionality,
Apricot
I'd
has
say,
joined
than
the space.
as Vision Pro is, right? Where it's an AR headset, typically with hand tracking first. I mean, it's interesting. And I found its pass-through actually to be pretty good, probably better than Quest 3's. There was way less distortion. Don't know why we're talking about
Yeah.
pass-through, but we're waffling. We're
Well,
on a
hot take
tangent.
from Aline. No,
Waffling
yeah,
around.
no.
They're
This is a
improving.
great
Oh, yeah,
little
let's get
tangent.
back
I
to
want to
that.
dive
No
deeper
better
on this one.
place.
Yeah. I
Distortion,
want to go
better
deeper on
place.
this one.
distortion. They're definitely working on. Will
I've got a lot to
improve, I
say
think,
about the
as
pass-through
times go by.
situation right now.
Yeah.
Question
Yeah.
related to pass-through.
Pass-through for another.
There's a lot of work. It'll get a lot better.
Go for it.
Pass
on
off
Quest.
to
No
you
question.
for pass through.
Question related about the pass-through.
Where's your
Pass
waffle?
off.
At what point will we match the resolution on our screens that the human eye can see?
What is that?
We're pretty
resolution?
close.
Well,
We're pretty
think it's
close.
8K.
Uh,
8K is
well,
what I
Is
heard,
it really?
right?
Is that it?
I don't know.
We
That's
only
why I'm
got
asking.
8K. Oh.
that's a tough one.
Well,
right?
we're
'Cause
only
it really
talking about
depends
the
on
middle of
orientation
our
the
eye.
cameras, the amount of the
Yeah.
image that you can salvage from the
Okay.
projection and the distortion correction and all that kind
And-
of stuff that you're doing. What's interesting about the Lynx is the fact that its cameras are actually lined up pretty well, roughly with your eyes, so
Mhm.
that minimizes the necessity to correct distortion and stuff. Which Vision Pro is, I guess, as well, really. But I don't know.
It's-
I mean,
I don't think it's resolution that's holding quality back
Vander
on the whole.
Haviligo has joined the
It's
space.
it's what you can render. You know, it's
One
how
second, Mike.
accurately you can model the world.
I see one of the breakpoints
Go on,
of
Glenn.
being able to use pass-through and everything else is going to be matching the human eye. Up to that point, there's always going to be distortion. There's always going to be, but for to really, like I said, the gentleman who wanted to play guitar, when your pass-through matches the resolution of the human eye, the pass-through no longer becomes any kind of an obstacle to doing anything in the virtual world that you are in the real world. At that point, playing guitar becomes a matter of not having to deal with any distortion of simply getting your fingers in the right place.
I would
It's not
agree
just
with Ryan's
resolution.
biggest
That's exactly
fear.
true. I
Dynamic-
could
it's
literally just
it's
play
dynamic
screen.
range.
easy.
So
bar
it's
chords,
you-
just
it's the
like doing
range
this.
of
Dun,
light.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that too.
like
It's,
easy.
it's
So,
also the range of light
already I
to
can do
dark,
it.
like dynamic range,
notes.
color space. There's
one note.
there's
Yeah.
loads of other things
Exposure.
apart from resolution
There's a
that
company making a
that are
deal
way
that
harder to
tracks
fix
your
because you
nerves
can't
with
make
your
a
fingers.
Right,
screen.
one at a time. One at a
Oh,
time,
right,
guys.
just-
One at a
oh.
time. One at a
Sorry.
time.
Go ahead, Ander.
One at a
Ander's got a
time.
thought. Go
Well,
ahead,
someone's
Ander.
a guitar.
talked a
I
lot.
mean, sorry.
Thanks, Sander.
Someone said
Uh,
guitar.
No, I agree with Mindspigot.
the-
I think the
I just-
resolution
Go
of
on,
the
sorry, Shane.
cameras is limited through the screen, right? Because the screens are what, 2K per eye, 4K per eye,
At present.
8K, 16K. 16K is what they theoretically think the human eye can perceive.
Okay.
So
At least
we have
for
to get to that
16K.
point, and then the rendering becomes the biggest bottleneck. Because there's no amount of foveated rendering is going to save you from that when you're trying to render two 16K images at any kind of reasonable speed. I would say before that happens, we'll likely have something like Magic Leap, or something that uses an alternate technology, actual AR, not pass through. I think pass through right now is a stepping stone to a future device where we don't look through a screen and a camera, we see the real world and we overlay stuff on top of that.
100%.
I agree. I
So
absolutely
instead of
agree.
going
I
through
disagree.
a pass through, you're
Oh,
going
no.
to an actual
Hot
overlay.
take.
Oh.
No.
I
The
think we can have
problem
two.
is,
I think we can have two
you
separate
see-
devices. That
no,
do
no. The
both.
problem is you can't take light away. That's just not possible. I mean, maybe we can do it with some quantum shit, but currently, when you have some AR like HoloLens, like Magic Leap, if it's bright, it's bright. There is no way to reduce, to subtract light. Light
What if
is
they had
always
like dynamic
additive.
Have you been?
polarization that did like stenciling? What if they had that kind of technology?
Oh no. There might be some
Yeah, but
trickery, if they could.
Yeah, but that's
Darken and
also
light
a
it,
response again in reduction in quality.
Yeah, no, I
So
get you.
there are
yeah.
always trade-offs, and
I think there's
think-
two devices, right? I think there'll be a split. You'll have the pass-through, devices, and then you'll have the holographic see-through and have stuff projected there. There'll be and they'll be perfected in their own separate ways, right? You'll have the high definition pass-through cameras, and then it'll be indistinguishable from what you see with your eyes. You'll have the highest quality OLED screens ever that cost like $500 each or whatever the hell it costs in the future. But and then you'll have the holographic stuff like what HoloLens and all them lot are doing. But yeah, go on, Aline. I just wanted to check that in there.
We could go to contacts.
I'm just wondering.
Computers already in your eyes. Contact lenses, eyeballs. Remember? That's
Yeah.
Disco VR talked
That's
about
getting
that.
pushed big.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be
Actually,
just
there
3D
was
printing reality
there was
onto
this
your
one
eyeballs.
device.
I know.
It was only made
that's gonna
for
be
video watching, and it only had 720p. It was called the Avantgarde
Apple
Glue.
Vision
and
Pro.
What, and what
called
it
the Apple
actually
Vision Pro.
does.
Well, they
Both
are
those
going
specs are
outside
true.
with
It's just
them.
for video
They're going
watching.
outside.
720p is the limit of the stream.
And they're going outside, walking
No.
around.
Wait.
Sorry, go
But
ahead.
the
You're
key
wrong.
feature was it had some tiny laser projectors in there with micro mirrors that projected it directly into your retina. And
Yes, retinal
even though it
projection.
was just
Magic Leap uses
720p, even though it had only 720p, people said that's actually pretty good from the resolution,
It's
and
an analog
also
projection.
no screen door
Well, not
effect,
analog.
nothing
Analog?
like this.
How does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, it's an analog input into your
It's a
eyes. You're
projector.
not seeing a
Go
You'll
ahead.
see the light into
projector,
your.
yes, like a
so
light
it's kind of
source.
digital to
Jump
analog.
in.
Yeah, it's a weird
Sorry.
concept.
No, you're
Will
okay.
does anybody
That's interesting.
transparent LCDs are becoming a thing now as well, aren't they? I know they're starting to make big
Mm.
tellies
yeah.
like it.
I saw
But
that
is,
too, yeah.
will that play into this at some time in the future? You know, obviously
Possibly.
it'll be
Who wants that?
brought,
Could.
miniaturized and
That's
So I just
very
wanted to-
interesting.
quality.
Who wants
Latency
that?
will become the biggest challenge then. Like motion to photon really is trying to tie up the real world with.
Yeah.
But I mean, AR is doing that already, right? We've got.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Leap,
floating
We've got
TVs
other
than
AR. We've got
see-through TVs.
the
So-
HoloLens.
so
What I'm getting at is I think there's we seem to have a cascade of new technologies coming through. So whatever we think's going to be the thing right now
Oh.
probably won't be, the standard
Every
in
window in a
well,
house could be a TV now.
5 years from now. It's a long
So-
time.
If it's bad weather.
Betamax.
Yeah.
Can I just take a quick
every
a quick
window's
side
a TV
waffle there
so that
about
if it's bad weather out, you can change
Ooh,
the
side
weather.
waffle. Like it.
Right?
I'm not sure if anybody saw back in 2018 or 20 something around that time. Meta were showcasing some of their prototype headsets, and they were demonstrating this technology where they had layered kind of screens and layered optics that would do like multi-layered focusing, right? So depending on what you were looking at and depending on how far away it was, it would alter the actual. Exactly, there was some double. There were a few lenses in there that would do.
lenses.
Yes, exactly.
Pancake
So right
lenses.
now, when you're in VR,
I love
when you look at
parallax.
stuff, you don't see the right parallax, right? It doesn't look the same
true,
as real life.
it's a
There's that
macro
slight
focus.
weirdness. So
Yeah.
they were doing this technology right to try and alleviate this thing that you get when you're in VR. So
Eye fatigue.
I think this is coming soon, right? You need to miniaturize all of this stuff. That will be a big changer for a lot of the VR. It'll make it more immersive having this stuff. I just wanted to have a quick side waffle about that stuff. But then bringing on for what you were saying there, Simon, about the transparent screens, right? You could layer up transparent screens, and then you could then do a similar concept, but maybe cheaper. You could have layered up of these transparent screens, have layered, things that were meant to be on different layers. You could have the stereoscopic parallax effect happening on different layers, and then your eyes would look proper.
So you've got
have
like a
objects
for a mid ground and a
yes, exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
That's
And then
cool.
your mind will just be like, oh, and you could even blend the layers together, right? You can have one object be on one layer, but then be on another layer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm waffling. I just wanted to have a quick. I wanted to have a quick side waffle about the.
That's a good waffle.
About,
that one,
No, it's interesting.
yeah.
That was cool.
So I just wanted to just mention that, just because you probably notice it, that when you're in VR, things don't quite look to scale. There's a weird thing that doesn't look right. The second you take off your headset, you're like, oh yeah, the depth of things. That's why it's like that. That is the reason for that problem, right? So I just wanted to just let everybody know about that.
I don't like
and eventually that problem will be fixed with those solutions. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling.
Yeah.
Nice waffle.
No, that was good. That makes
That's
sense.
a
I
good
haven't heard
headset.
anything
Whoa.
about
I do every time.
PS5's VR headset and the PC yet.
No, we actually had a waffle about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
though.
we did.
We
Yeah,
talked about that in detail.
Yep.
We haven't
A
heard
whole-
anything about it. Although, what have we heard about Sony since? What did they do? Did they sack 5% of their staff or something? Cancel
They
a few
Really?
cancelled
Nice.
a few studios in the UK. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a
Some of
few.
the studios. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few disconcerting things.
Because like they're the
there
one
on
of
the
the
Sony
only like
front.
first party developers like that can really make the AAA first party games.
I mean,
right
there's
now. Like,
there's eye tracking in the
Microsoft is
PSVR
not
too,
doing the
right?
best.
I mean, that's worth
Yeah.
noting. This is potentially the biggest chance at a mass market headset that's actually included eye tracking and can
Very
use
wise
that
for Sony.
for foveated rendering, right?
Very wise.
I mean, you're talking about a headset that's what, $500-600, something like that, and
It's
has
the
eye
open source.
tracking.
That's why it's better.
So
There's
it's
actually no
affordable,
other
man.
one out there that's as cheap as that has that
Nope.
level of technology in it. Now, unfortunately,
But they're closed source.
there's some
And
other
the controllers
flaws, isn't there?
too.
I don't have a PSVR
haptic
2.
triggers.
I was going to get one until Aline told me about hers. But
Well, I think you can use
I
it
mean,
now on
it's
PC.
unfortunate.
It works on PC now. Somehow,
I mean, that could be
somebody
really
made it.
cool if that was the
VR2.
case, right?
This is VR2.
There's a potential market to create, new facial interfaces, more comfort options, support for other controllers, stuff like that. Because a headset that has eye tracking like that, could take the lead in terms of the edge with performance and quality
Absolutely.
and fidelity on
Yeah.
PCVR. Squeezing every
Right
last
now, the
little
price
bit
range, yeah,
out of your
I think
system.
so. Price range.
Yeah, and that's interesting because foveated rendering. We've talked about it. That
price
obviously
range,
is one of the big
exactly.
benefits, and that gives you more performance. But it's also what you're talking about, Bob, with the varifocal lens stuff.
Yeah.
You need eye tracking for that too, because you need to know where they're
Exactly.
looking in order to
Exactly.
decide how the depth of field works. But
One of the techs that is way off, but has been looked at, only works if your head's clamped in a frame, is firing lasers directly through your pupil. And to do that, you have to track where the pupil is, so kind of eye tracking is built in, and that way you don't have anything on your head. But the supreme degree of accuracy you need to track that tiny spot and produce an image on the back of the retina is huge. But one day, it's an exciting one day thing.
My
We're
brain's
there
still
right now, brother.
Trying to figure out how to use its pupils in VR. It's still like I get out of it, and I look in the mirror, I'm like, whoa, my eyes are they're back to normal. Like it's still learning how to use VR. My eyes. Does anybody have that?
Yeah.
Where their pupils look a little bigger or smaller when they take the headset off?
Oh, I don't know.
Smaller,
I'll have to
yes.
check
I mean, you've
now.
got
Now
big,
you
You
are.
should
big
check the
bright
mirror right after,
screens
right after.
in front of
you'd be
your
like, whoa.
eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Turn your
would
brightness
make your
down a little bit.
pupils-
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Put
a
on
good
the
point.
Highly recommended. Don't have your brightness up
uh,
100% inside your headsets. It's not good. Not good for you,
Damn.
is it?
Turn it right up.
Probably, I probably already
the color
retinized my
temperature
retinas.
settings as well. You can turn
Retinized
everything a
them.
little bit more.
Yeah, make it a bit
What do they call
warmer.
it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's true. Good point. Thanks.
You'll get used to it too.
But it is. It's
Um,
just like two torches in your eyeballs if you think about it, right?
Mhm.
Two
Two torches.
screens. It's like
I don't know.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like having
not-
two torches, and then you take the
but that's-
headset off, and it's like
but
your
that's kind of
pupils
the
are going to be
problem.
tiny.
It's not
It
as
is,
bright
yeah,
as the
it is
real
like that.
world,
It's
which
weird.
is
No.
one of the things Meta had in a prototype was creating a headset where you could make it have the dynamic range that was close to what it was like in the real world. You know, you go outside and you've
Oh,
got
yeah.
like over 2,000 times
Yeah.
the brightness of
Yeah. What's the
inside,
nits
but
at?
our eyes
Yes.
adjust exponentially. And by all accounts of people who've used this massive prototype that had like two lights the size of two suns on the front of their head, it was massively improved immersion. It was just spectacular. So
Right.
they said. So
Yes.
yeah, that's we may want it brighter, not darker, but only in the right way.
Yeah, I
that's
mean, it's
true.
interesting. I
That's
mean,
very
the Vision Pro is something like 2,000 nits, so it's considerably brighter than most other.
Yeah.
If I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
how's that
that's
work
quite a
then?
bit.
Yeah.
That's outdoor. You know, if you were outdoors, you'd be able to see something.
Yeah.
at that
Both of
level of
those screens
brightness.
alone is the cost of a Quest 3. Just a heads up there.
Just
Right.
wait, my
Quest,
friends.
on the Vision
It'll
Pro.
scan your
Yeah.
eyeballs
But
one day and be fully
the only
calibrated.
reason the Vision Pro is
Nice. There you go.
the
Beautiful.
Vision Pro
That
is
is
for
the risk,
developers
isn't it?
right now. Nobody, they never
Bypass the
expected to sell
eyeballs.
this to consumers. They're trying to get the apps
Retina
into
retina
stores.
scans like on the internet, like your retinas, your whole eyeball.
And we
Yeah.
don't need. They can
Download some
ditch
retinas?
Like a
the-
fingerprint.
They
I
can
guess.
ditch the front screen. Nobody really needs that. It just looks creepy. That'll save a lot.
It's
of money.
it's making it more appealing to having social contact and removing that
The
barrier
eyeballs that show up?
of
ghastly
when you're in
the
VR, you feel
contrast.
separated from people that are in your space, right? And if you can see them when you're in there, because if a person comes close to you when you're on the Vision Pro, they start
It
to
does
kind of
make
fade
sense,
in.
No,
It's
I
it's a
get the
presence thing.
theory.
It's just that's
Yeah.
all it is. It's just tying
Yeah.
that gap because VR has had a
Yeah.
bad connotation for a long time of people smashing TVs and falling over and people just waving their hands and nobody knowing
Yeah.
what they're doing. So
I don't know what-
I
don't know
respect what
No,
Apple's doing, right? I
I
respect
don't know
what they're
other
doing in
people
terms of
think, but I think it just
bridging
makes
the
it
gap.
look way creepier
Good.
than just
I've
wearing
hit
a
a bunch
normal
of stuff. I
headset.
punch
It's
my
quite a disturbing
many
effect.
times.
But maybe it's just me.
Creepy
No,
like this.
I agree.
I
Don't
don't
worry,
I don't
it's
like the
us.
company as a whole, but I respect
Oh.
what they're doing. You know, in
Yeah.
terms of trying
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
bridge the divides.
Yeah, I don't. I think they'll. My guess is that people won't be prepared to pay $1,000 on the price of a headset. Just
It's so similar
just
to
have
the
their
iPhone
eyes
1.
on the front.
It's so similar to iPhone 1. No one bought it until the
Yeah.
2 or 33.
But just
came
think
out.
about this, right?
Yeah.
It's only
Yeah.
going to get better. This
Well,
is
not
the
no one,
worst
but-
one they're ever
yeah.
going to make. So regardless of what you say about it.
I've heard that before.
I don't know about that.
I hate
think they'll
Apple,
make-
but
they'll make
it's
a
going to get
cheaper-
better.
I think
They
they'll
might
make a
remove a few
cheaper,
ports
worse one.
pointlessly, but
That's Marcus. Marcus said that.
on the whole, it'll get better. I don't
I
like
think they're
Apple,
gonna make
okay?
it-
I hate them, but
I think
you
they'll
know,
make
I
a
gotta be
cheaper,
fair.
worse one, but it'll
Marquis.
be one that
Sorry,
we might
Marcus.
actually
Marcus.
want.
Marquis.
Maybe if they had to put an M3 in it, right? I mean a
out
BMW
yet?
M3. Am I right?
a whole car in a headset.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Whoa!
I mean, they just announced the Apple
Mac
BMW
Pro.
M3 last year,
Yeah.
but they didn't even put it into the
God.
Vision Pro. What?
I was going to do
They
a,
announced
a,
the
Wait,
cancel
M3
in
is
the
already
Apple
out?
car
impression
and
now.
made it Apple BMW M3.
in this Apple Vision Pro. There's a whole car in this Apple Vision Pro too. Okay. Sorry, it's Mr. Mackey.
That's great.
As long as you can do some sweet
Oh, I thought that
jumps,
was
that's
Tim
all
Apple.
that matters.
Yeah.
Thought that was
Well,
Tim
they canceled
Apple.
the car. They canceled their
They
car.
canceled the car. They canceled cars
They can-
entirely, in fact.
Finally.
Yeah, because they've all got
Finally. We all knew it was
M3s.
Cars
canceled.
are-
We all knew it was canceled.
Yeah.
But like then they finally had to release that
I
info.
thought-
Oh,
what
thanks
the
for
hell?
telling us that it was canceled. That we
Yeah.
knew. 'Cause
They had
Apple
1,000
car-
employees working on that behind the
Mhm.
scenes.
But what are they doing now? What projects do they get shifted to?
Who knows? Vision Pro 2 with a
CarPlay.
car in it or something. You know, CarPlay.
Yeah, BMW
Vision
M3.
car.
Exactly. Like
A car that you, a headset that you drive or
That's a
something. I don't know what they're
downgrade.
gonna do. Who
I
knows?
mean, the only thing that could potentially, and this is probably a good thing, or something you might expect from Apple at least, is that the device has future-proofed hardware somewhat, and even if the software is lacking like crazy, there's a good possibility it might still be getting updates in 4, 5, 6
That is true.
years.
That
And
processor
they
is pretty
may
decent.
fix
And
it.
it's true.
You
That
know, they
processor
may
is decent.
fix it.
Yeah.
If only they put an M3 in it, right? Then that would.
It's true.
That
You
might
can
tip the
download one. They'll
scales
let
in
you
terms of
download one
the-
in the future. They'll
Can
do
it be
something.
final
the RAM is going to be
now?
downloadable this
Beautiful.
time. Finally, RAM is downloadable. The first time ever
Yes.
downloadable RAM.
A whole CPU upgrade downloadable.
That's
oh,
beautiful.
wicked. That's even better. GPU downloads. Ah.
There we go.
Over the air.
Download more RAM.
Over the air.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
The classic joke.
Right, Nick.
Something totally
Nice little
different.
tangent there.
Apple's going
Waffling
to
on.
do
Huh?
Neuromancer on Apple TV or Apple movie or whatever. The TV show, the book Neuromancer from.
I've heard
It's going
people
to be a
talking about
TV
this.
series.
Blake 2K has joined the space.
Right.
What?
Not
Yeah,
familiar with it.
it's
No.
it's our father of the cyberspace. So yeah,
Oh.
William Gibson's Neuromancer is going to be a TV show.
On Apple TV.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
Right
my
on.
god, I can feel myself.
Wow.
I'm prepared
Well.
for disappointment.
Apple TV is honestly the quality's typically pretty good on shows on Apple
Yeah.
TV. Of
I like
all
the
of
quality,
the
but
5 of them are, I'm joking, of course. There's 6.
There's so many now.
It's going to be
Is there-
difficult
Oh.
to do justice to the
Oh
book.
my eye.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Disney Plus and Apple, I think, are the best quality. Sometimes.
Yeah.
out of
So
the
my
streaming
Apple Vision
services.
Pro, it should be arriving soon, but I've been told I don't get access to any of the 3D content
Well, I don't
on
know.
Disney Plus.
Oh, jeez.
Aw.
What
in
do
Europe.
people think?
That's-
I was tempted. This is a big
weird.
gamble. To
Modder
buy an Apple
77
Vision
has
Pro
joined the space.
and not open the box, and then
I've heard
see
a
what
lot
it's
of
worth
people
in
doing
20
that.
years
Joined
for
the
my
space.
retirement.
Yo,
Yeah.
that sounds actually okay.
What you could do
Yeah.
is do that
Hi, Helen.
and then have buyer's remorse and return it less than 14 days later, and then do it again. And then have buyer's remorse
Forever.
again
Just
and
piss 'em
return
off.
it. And go
piss
through
'em
this
off.
cycle, this vicious cycle.
That's a good idea.
How about a hot
Uh,
take from a random
no,
person who's
seriously,
just
it is.
joined the room? Hey,
Apple have already banned me
Mater77.
from their press
I just got
conference.
banned from
I'm
big
not gonna
screen.
annoy them
Where do
anymore.
we go?
Welcome,
Banned
new
from big
friend.
screen.
Apple do
Oh
not
no,
like me.
Noisy Orange got banned from big screen. That will happen.
Hey,
Hey,
sometimes.
Me their Echoface
Hey,
has
bud.
joined the space.
I'm on my Steam Deck fixing stuff.
Huh?
Oh, somebody's on a Steam Deck. That's cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Oh, really?
I just got that
How do you know?
configuration from MJ working, so I'm playing with that.
Yeah.
Do the video players still work? Do the browsers still work, or is that broken?
No.
As far as I can
Broken.
tell, they do not work. They're all white screens.
That's
I will
unfortunate.
persist
That custom
to try
Proton
and
didn't
fix it. Yeah.
doesn't still work.
So just
Hey.
to let everybody know, I managed to get video players working inside of a Steam Deck somehow.
Nice.
I don't know how, but I'm gonna try and do it again. I don't know how, but yeah,
Bow down.
somehow
bow
it just
down.
randomly broke. So yeah, I will persist and keep trying things. I
Yeah.
thought that it could be potentially, how Steam transfers files locally. So if you've got a Steam Deck, you can download a game that you've already got and just transfers the files locally. So I thought that could have been what was going on, but no, it wasn't. But anyway,
Oh, a note on
yeah.
CDN hosting for the A-frames. The desktop streaming component looks like it's hosted on Glitch. I think Masonite and a couple other users may not have the ability to access that while in, or view it while in the room.
Right? Yeah, you just need to go to your ISP settings and then.
Oh,
turn
I'm
off
telling
any
him. I was like, I said,
web
if you have an app, you can
filters
fix
or
it.
whatever crap your ISP
Yeah.
is turned on.
He thinks there's that the ISP is doing another update that might fix it. I personally doubt that, so I'm just gonna keep pushing them. Call your ISP. Just call.
Yep.
Call your ISP.com.
Nice waffle tangent there, Quake.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hot take from Dusty. What have you got for us, Dusty?
My mind has been just on the subject of, how you guys been talking about how the vision of the headsets might
Leave him alone,
improve.
Ender.
I've just been thinking about like the frame rate of the eye. There has been like a myth that the frame rate of the eye is limited to 30 frames per second, but I
hate
don't
this
think that's
myth.
true.
No.
Not the
I
eye.
also hate
No.
it, but like if you shake your hand in real life, your brain fills out the frames that you can't see.
Regardless
and
of what
tricks you
anybody
into
says,
thinking.
you can see the
yeah.
difference
Systems of
between 144 and 270 or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
that's what
number, or
I'm
even
talking
500.
about.
You
In
can
real
see it.
life, in
You
real
can see it.
life, you can't see it. Your brain fills it out for you. It tricks you. But in a screen, in computer screens or LED screens, you can see everything without motion blur. You can see like massive difference between frames.
Oh, there's-
So I'm just
there's
thinking
so
about like
much
imagine
post-processing
just
going on.
boxers or martial artists taking advantage of this, putting fucking 500 frame rate goggles on their eyes
Oh
to
boy.
take advantage of that millisecond delay of like no motion blur.
Reaction training.
Exactly,
The-
reaction
the-
training.
the
Imagine
weirdest, one
that.
of the weirdest bit of pre-processing going on is that
Yeah,
we're
that
actually
was a hard
what you
take. Follow
see.
there.
Everything that
And
is
then-
processed by your brain, because the processing time is about a tenth of a second in the past, but it corrects that. by
Exactly,
Actually
exactly.
putting things so a ball you
Great,
see,
great little
it's
waffle.
lying where the ball is and making up for the fact that it's moved since it did the processing and it adjusts for it, just like just like MPEG video
Projection.
actually does.
Exactly. So, guys,
movement
basically, our
processing,
brain can see
movement
into the
prediction.
future. Uh,
Oh.
That's what we're
You can
talking
see
about
24
now.
frames per second.
Oh,
and we can
Yes,
see
wow.
144.
at least. Yeah,
And we can see 240.
Wow.
Wow.
It's so weird.
But imagine
Well,
the
there you go.
applications of that. Just high frame rate goggles that help that give you an advantage, and plus,
I don't know
you
that
can
it
just
is.
Sure,
turn
there's a
on
study
night
there.
vision,
You
maybe.
could.
Also, sun
Oh,
doesn't
I'm
hurt
looking
your
for-
eyes, and you can
I'm so
directly
looking
stare at
forward
it.
to
That's awesome.
multi-spectrum.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
I really
that's
want,
cool.
I really want.
I
That's
noticed
cool and
120
everything.
difference.
Infrared cameras
120 is
get
where
Let's
around.
go the
it-
other
for me,
way.
I really want.
Let's
I'm
make a
waffling.
pair of goggles that
goggles.
can limit your. Oh, nice one.
120 is like
We want 15 frames, right? So we can go in and we can play Gorilla Tag, and we can cheat. We can
No.
jump around, and people can't hit us because we're jumping and
Also,
glitching and all that
There's
stuff.
two things.
We want a headset that limits everything you play on it to 15 frames, and all it needs is Gorilla Tag. Doesn't need any other games. Let's just go in. And we can all hack.
It just
There will be
opens up
some
that
pretty
big,
good
yeah.
pills you can
We can
take
get
for
mods.
that.
Game Boy.
We can find a
That's,
nice community with good mods, and we can
Yeah.
get other things that are mods. Those two things aren't the same thing. And there's a
South
stick.
Park.
Everybody
This
can
is
get a stick.
mods.
Mod has a stick.
This is
He
an
brings out
inside
the
joke.
stick. There's shiny rocks, all sorts of stuff.
tell you-
15
I'll tell you
frames,
Why?
45
South
frames.
Park.
15? Why 15?
Because the lower the frames,
South
the
Park.
more you can hack. It's
Dude.
the opposite of your 500 frames. You can
You
you
know,
have better abilities at 15 frames because software sucks.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You know, even NVIDIA GeForce does not allow you to limit application FPS below 20 FPS. Like,
Oh, no.
15 FPS is painful.
There you go.
Definitely.
There you go.
Oh, okay,
Painful
okay,
how
okay.
much
That
strength
makes
you're gonna
sense.
have.
Okay, yes, I love it. Pain, I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I'll
guys.
tell you what I
are
do want from a
No
headset.
pain, no
I
gain. That's how
believe
you-
it.
Like noise
The Gorilla Tag
reduction
works.
headphones. I want headsets where you can edit out somebody from a scene. You can't hear them and you can see them, so you can like
Oh,
block
yeah,
a
I'll give you that
person
in a
in the real world.
There's a Black Mirror episode.
Black Mirror.
It's like they're really annoying.
Yeah, there
Just
you go.
click on that
Yeah.
Really is
person.
broadcast
They're gone.
Yes,
technology.
that is a
which
I
big
suppose you
difference.
could do that with
Seriously.
virtual reality or AR goggles too, right? You can have some active.
Yeah, exactly.
that's-
That's what I mean
yeah.
with a kind of AR
Yeah.
goggle type setup. You just edit them out
Got
in the
you.
real world, and they're gone from your pass through. You can't
You
Yeah.
should watch this episode and then come back to us with that opinion. This episode terrifies me.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yep.
Imagine how much nicer the workplace would be if you could just block
That,
their
that
existence.
puts a whole new
actively
spin on
rope
cancel
some
people
Yeah.
out, doesn't it?
But what happens if you
That's-
walk
yeah,
into
Block
the
what they're
episode.
saying, but you'll still
And
hear
then
them whinging on.
No,
Yeah,
you won't
that's
hear
the
them.
point.
So-
Thing
No,
that
you
doesn't
wouldn't.
want
Facebook
us to
Just
have any
remove
flesh.
them completely.
Oh.
The
Facebook
AI
had
yeah,
this,
you
didn't
just
they?
remove
They
them.
had
Right.
directional.
And
Visually.
fill in the
Earpieces.
background where they're standing.
Quake 2K has
There's
joined
like a
the
new
space.
speaker that's made of
Okay.
some sort of glass material that only a specific direction can hear, unless it
Yeah.
bounces off walls,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is pretty, which is still pretty fucking unhearable in other directions. Did you guys see
Oh,
that?
no.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in those. You just a narrow cone of sound, and you walk outside.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
phenomenal.
yes.
So I tried
at
one.
museums,
The
you mean?
sound's
At
really
museums,
good in them.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been in
yeah.
yes.
the museum exhibit I
Beam-
went to. Just was
beamforming.
using them next to exhibits. It's great. It's
Right.
brilliant.
Imagine blasting someone with Rickroll, just one singular person.
Oh my!
An
Of course
AI
you would
robot
say
just
that.
Oh,
tracks
no.
that
Rick,
person
he Rick
No,
and
no, no,
blasts
no,
him.
no.
And he asks everyone else, "Do you hear that Rickroll?" And everyone says, "What are you talking about, bro?" That's such a good troll.
Ultimate trolling.
Banana.
I've been rickrolled by Dusty so many times that I'm over it. I'm not good with a joke. He knows it.
Oh
He's
no,
like,
I did
okay,
a Rickroll for
okay, I'm gonna put on a good video. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh no.
That's the wrong one.
I'm not good at
That's the right
voice
one. That's the right one.
I gotta try and catch your megaphones, guys. So just give me a sec, so everybody in all rooms can hear you.
I was wondering what was going on there. I was hearing people. I thought they were jumping
I'm
around.
trying.
I'm
I'm
on the
trying. I'm
floor.
trying. I'm like
I'm on the floor
gunning
smoking
everybody.
weeds.
Well,
Okay,
the
so
thing
we
that
were
doesn't
actually
have much
thinking of,
flesh doesn't want us to have much flesh.
Oh boy,
What?
that was weird.
What?
You know what? That was strange. Embrace the weird.
I get
Yeah,
asked the
I'm good
question.
at it. So the waffle part of this event is actually proven to be quite good. This open chat discussion.
I love it.
We were thinking of maybe trying this with a couple of other things.
I'm going to go eat an Eggo right after this.
Oh, an Eggo. Tell us more. What is an Eggo?
It's that.
An Eggo
Toaster waffle.
waffle?
It's a waffle.
It's a
Yeah.
mini
Oh, right.
It's a toaster waffle.
We should know that. I feel like we should have done our homework. We should know what waffle is in every culture, every language.
It's
Eggo.
the phrase is Lego.
An
Mango.
Eggo. Never ever heard it called an Eggo.
Not tech.
No, me neither.
An Eggo.
Eggo's
Someone
Like,
grabs
what?
your Eggo, you gotta say Lego. If someone grabs your
Extra
Eggo,
maple
say Lego.
syrup.
A tech Eggo.
So
Maybe
that's
we could
your.
change
We'll
that.
have
Doing
one
tech
food
Eggo.
fact a week,
It's
real
right?
love to have
That's
maple
your
syrup.
That's it.
bloody food fact right there. Waffles
There you
also
go. No
an
more.
Eggo.
No more food facts. This week I've been
One a
mostly
week.
eating Eggos. Waffle law.
Only the Brits get
Great,
that
great,
good
nice
phrase.
one.
Yes, right. Only the Brits who were like born in like 80s and less.
Exactly. Old Brits like us.
Yes. Yeah.
Most
Ah,
people eat
God.
I'll get me coat.
This place wouldn't be
Oh,
here without you.
Jesus.
So,
Oh damn.
yeah, like that. Very heartful. It was.
So, what was it we were going to talk about, Bob? Body tracking? Do you think
I
we
think,
should talk
yeah,
about body
but-
tracking for the last 15
I
minutes?
don't know. I don't. Maybe it could go on a long time. So maybe.
Grago has joined the space.
What about face tracking? Right? Maybe that's a lesser. Oh, it's Bob? Oh my God.
What about
I
nerve
don't
Bob?
know
tracking?
that.
Bob? Bob?
No.
I like the way he
Really-
stopped and it
I
just
really
held
like
the table down. It
Yeah.
just like
Really like some of the
locked in
It was
place.
like
in
his
VR.
processor shut
But
down.
I can look disgusted at what somebody's saying without looking disgusted in the
Battery.
real world or whatever.
Just, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Battery.
That's true.
Well, didn't
I
you
guess-
have
battery,
that on
brother.
Ready
Inject
Player
your
One, the
battery
film? You could turn off
Yeah.
the sort of.
You could turn it off, couldn't you? That's right.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Percival had to
Waffle
sort of
has
turn it
joined
off
the
at some
space.
stage, didn't he?
He had like a mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Was that like an extra thing he had or something? He had to pull
There we
that
go. I'm
feature out
back.
of
Sorry,
his...
guys.
Hey, he's
It's
back.
some sort of
Inventory.
blocking feature, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sort of
I mean, that's interesting.
blocked your
Emotion or
emotions. Emotion
But it assumes
suppressants,
that
something like that.
facial tracking is the standard. You have to accept it. And in order to turn it off, you have to earn something or pay for something to be able to not display it. I mean, I think like most things, especially when it involves some kind of tracking of the body or head or
Oh, I
eyes
keep
or
grabbing
face
your
or
hand.
whatever it is,
Sorry.
it has
Whoa.
that secondary effect of introducing more immersion for the other people around you as well
Absolutely.
as you,
Mm.
which I think is really
You-
interesting, right?
Yeah, you see every micro movement of their body, and you get, it's the same with the eye tracking. In combination with that,
Yeah.
bam, it's the full immersion social experience, and your brain just removes the fact that you're in a game because you see something that's kind of realistic more than just basic animations and IK stuff, because you can never
Preach that,
emulate or
Waffle.
simulate that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You could
Well,
never
using the nerve
Oh
tracking,
yeah.
right?
just
That
even
always
able to have
Duffman.
elbow articulation, right? Being able to have your elbows wiggle separately to your hand, which is a crazy thing. But once you have that, you're like, oh my god. Just
Everybody give it a try there. Everybody try wiggle your elbows.
it'll do nothing right now, but Meta have
Details, please.
Meta have got their full body estimation system, right? Which
Yeah.
Virtual Desktop
More
now has.
instruction.
So
Yeah, it doesn't-
I highly
very
recommend you
rough.
turn that on if you use it in apps
Yeah,
that
it's a very
support it.
rough guess at legs, but it looks exciting.
Well, it's estimation, right? It's in the
Yeah.
name.
It is. It is.
Do we get a discount?
Well, it's upper body tracking and lower body estimation, isn't it? Which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting because on the Quest 3,
yes.
there's actually tracking of elbows and tracking of waist. I'm not sure. Maybe there's tracking of waist on the Quest 2, Quest Pro.
I don't think
not
so.
sure.
I'm always on my tippy toes, so I don't think it does it. Maybe, but I don't think.
You just need to
It
recenter.
also estimates
Press and hold
if
the
your
Oculus.
arms
That's
are
the boundary. I
behind
always
your
say that. I
back.
forget. Oh, I keep forgetting this reset.
No,
boundary.
no. You just need to press and hold the Oculus button until the little thing spins, and that will.
Resets.
There you go. Now look at your feet.
Oh my gosh, I did know that. I forget everything. I'm sorry.
Well, always do that
you.
every game that
I'm
you
the
start.
You can
Just
do it
hold
in
that
the-
Oculus button. Reset.
You can do it
reset
in the
your face
menu
base
too.
every
There's a
game.
reset height.
The Fire Rat's always like, bro, I told you that like 2 nights ago. I'm like, yeah, I know.
We're all the same height here, so everybody notice that? We're all exactly the same height.
He's good
We're all
though. trust me, he's the best.
1.75
Just saying,
meters, I think.
I forget everything.
Do we
Exactly.
get a payment plan?
We never get
I don't
any
forget
older.
everything.
Have you ever noticed that?
We don't get
It's like the
older.
Neverland.
Joanne has joined the space.
That's right. Except for Dusty. Dusty gets more dusty.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
you
just so
you
his
sat
username
behind
checks
beside
out.
him on the couch in big
I wanna say
screen.
something.
Oh, lights. Whew.
Go ahead,
You
Dusty.
get
Your
dust all over
megaphone.
you.
A megaphone?
Yeah.
Okay, it's mandatory.
Oh,
That's
oh,
it. No more.
boy.
No more.
Oh,
no more.
yeah.
No copyright. I don't want this to get copyright.
Oh man, had to keep it going. Had to keep it going.
No. We're enablers. That's what we are, folks. We're enablers.
Not me.
I wouldn't
I would say
expect
no.
anything else.
No Rick rolls.
Yeah.
27 people! New record!
But me and Dusty have our own.
That's not the record. We've actually had
Non-Rick
88
rolling.
people at one event.
I
once.
gotta
Remember
find
that?
99
No,
people.
not
Oh,
Rick rolls.
yes.
Did they get
99? Was there
rickrolled? Did they
99?
get rickrolled?
Or were they all
I
rickrolled?
got an idea.
Yeah. They could have been all rickrolled. They could have been all rickrolled.
Oh, I wish
I'm
I
gonna
was
play
there.
Creed, okay? And you're gonna hate it.
I mean, there's really only one benefit
Creed.
of face tracking in VR, really, isn't there?
Like-
It's pure presence, nothing else. Being able to just see somebody's lip, so it's lip tracking, really, isn't it? Full on face
could be
tracking probably
used-
isn't even that big of a deal.
If you
Just
could
more
relay
of
that
that
to
other
like
person.
an NPC, you could have you just react to an NPC in a game. So I suppose it doesn't have to be purely social. You wouldn't have to click on a button or dialogue. You could just frown or look away at them, or I guess they could detect that anyway, or be sad. So I don't know. Maybe it's not just pure social presence.
Now,
It
that's
could be used in
interesting.
different ways.
There's a
Did
topic
you guys
I could probably
see
talk about
the
for a while.
Yeah.
neural
Neural
bullshit?
sync.
Yeah, that
Neural
shit.
waffles.
It's like it scans your brain waves, and based on your emotion, it changes your character's appearance and some bullshit. So another W for the furries apparently, because they can now move their ears whenever they think about it,
Oh, I saw that.
Another W.
or
for
their
the
tails. So,
W
So
for
if
That's
that.
pretty
you want your
cool.
ears to move,
W
they'll
for you
move.
too.
I mean, when do they get W?
I am a skeleton.
I don't know. Another?
Yes.
Another one?
W for the
Whatever.
skeletons. For all skeleton kind. Am I right?
Newwaffle.com.
But here's the thing, I mean, facial tracking. Like what it seems has been the case. Neuralink, right? It can maybe do some cool stuff, but everything that's come before that is just kind of nonsense. Like maybe they can figure out how to map something and then get some repetition out of it enough to make it can trigger a macro or a keyboard key press, and then wow, I'm controlling my computer with my brain,
Pretty basic,
with my face.
unless you're disabled.
That goes on to what I've been saying.
ahead.
Facebook
Facebook, Aura Ring, RoboWrist, they've been all working on nerve tracking. So it's like
Yeah,
a
right.
bracelet that you wear, and it
Much
tracks your
more
nerves
exciting.
of your fingers.
Yeah,
And
much
it's so
more
good.
exciting.
That
Great
actually
to bring
sounds
that
more
up.
feasible than putting a microchip in your
agree.
head, you know.
I agree.
It's just the fact that it's an extra device, though.
Yeah.
That's all. You want something
Well,
that can just
instead of using a
be in the
controller, you would
strap.
just use your nerves.
So that, I
Mhm.
mean,
The
Yeah.
controller would be on your wrist.
As I understand, that's basically the same kind of technology as an EMG, right? Where
Yeah.
it's able to
Pretty much.
basically pick up on
What's the
those
EMG?
signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EMG is electromicrograph. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Microcardiograph. It's
Oh,
basically
the
can
for the
detect your-
cardiograph for
Yes.
the heart. Right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
no.
No,
EMG is
not cardio,
sorry.
not
That's
cardio.
ECG. EMG is
The
the
ECG.
muscles. Actually, it's being able to
Oh, there you
detect
go, muscles.
The electrical impulses.
changes.
Cool.
Yeah, basically the same thing, right? And
Yeah.
it's the same thing again. It's mapping patterns, right? It can pick up enough distinctive patterns in your EMG signals for it to be able to go, okay, now we can apply an AI model to that to say pretty confidently your hand is in that position. I mean, that's kind of crazy that those signals are they can cross pollinate between
Electrical.
different people. They're the same
Electrical.
signals that
Yeah,
I'm
they
sending
have
to my
electricity.
hand
Prototypes out already, yeah.
as you are.
Got some electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that stuff's crazy. That stuff's really mad, and we haven't even really
That's cyberpunk.
scratched the surface
cyberpunk
at
to me,
all.
ish.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with Neuralink, but
Yeah.
they seem to be doing some crazy stuff in there.
I don't know. I haven't seen Neuralink do anything
behind
that
closed
anybody's
doors.
hasn't done before.
Well, they've done their
They've
started
done-
their human trials now, so we'll start
Yeah,
to see
but there's plenty of
the
other
results of that
similar
over long
things
term.
That's
implanted
true.
in
That's
humans
now
already.
behind a little bit of doors.
But that's
Yeah.
not new.
Yeah.
A few doors.
There's plenty of cases of people putting thin fibers
Nice.
and wiring up to small
No,
clusters
you're
of
right. You're right.
neurons.
I remember many years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was a plate slid into somebody's head that was blind, and it was able to put dot matrix white dots that would outline roughly what they would see, and I was blown away by that. So it's been happening for years, but the thing is, you want accuracy. You don't want it to be. You want it to be accurate and non-evasive. That's
Yeah,
what you
and-
want. That's the true.
And not scarring, which is a huge problem.
Exactly. Yeah, non-evasive. Yeah.
But yeah, non-invasive. Well, yeah. I don't
Burn
think
the
you
audience
can.
right from day
I don't
one.
think there's any sign you could do something that's non-invasive yet.
I think you could. I think you could.
Because the
I think you could
resolution just
probably
isn't there to read through a skull. I mean, the best you can read is, you can read waves that are a mixture of huge numbers of neurons firing, and
You can go
look
deep
at
though. You can have a phased
blood flow
array
in certain
receiver
areas.
on the skull, right? That could pick three-dimensional signals up instead of having to probe in there. You can just pick up those pulses by
Yeah. Yeah, that's
phased
what I was
arrays. They're
thinking.
crazy technology. Honestly, look into phased arrays. It's
Well,
interesting stuff.
Did anybody see the
ethical
the
issues
the,
as well
the
with that.
footage they had of the monkey playing Pong?
Yeah, he
Just
died.
with
Yes.
the power of
Oh,
its
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
That's Neuralink. Yeah, that's right.
That was
I mean,
the coolest. I mean,
wanna
it's,
see that.
it's very disturbing, but kind of,
That
Yes.
monkey
I thought
passed
that was
away, by the way.
pretty amazing.
Yes.
Monkeys can't play video games.
Yeah,
No, they
I
can't.
can't either.
No.
I can't play Pong.
Yeah, I'm
You
rubber.
could play Pong. They showed him playing
Yeah,
Pong.
we did that.
Yeah, that's the.
But
But is
Yeah,
that
they
just
did a
a
good job.
pattern? Is
about
that
it
just
is
him
the
wanting to
children
do that?
rapidly getting to a better
They
skill
just get
level than
food.
we
It's just a psychological
Yeah.
psychological
Yeah, yeah.
experiment.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're just using them as a guinea pig,
Yeah.
basically, just to get the signals from them.
Have you seen those
Monkeys
experiments
get
they did with a
videogames.com.
number grid as well, where they
Now they
got
can.
monkeys to
.com.
they could pick these number. They have to.
Oh, the
they
memory
thought-
thing.
Slash now they
Yes.
can.
The memory
Slash now
thing.
they
Have you
can.
seen that?
Yes.
That was
yes.
incredible. They
Tell me
saw
about
this
that.
image of a set of numbers for about half a second.
Yeah, they
and
could
then
do
they
them
had
in
to
order
keep-
of the. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just to get
what-
some food. It's incredible.
Well, basically, you're saying they could kind of play Pelmanism better than we can. Was that the gist?
Did you guys see the monkey that played
Like that card
Minecraft?
game where you remember where cards were.
Come on.
No.
Search it up. It's so great.
Okay, we
The
might need to
monkey
have a
played
whole tech
Minecraft.
waffle about that.
I can believe
monkey
this
that played
almost.
Minecraft.
Monkey
Some
facts.
'Cause, like, anybody can play Minecraft, right? So, boom.
Minecraft
good at it?
waffle.
I said,
Minecraft with
Was
Paul
he
Rudd
in
on it.
survival mode or?
This, but didn't really work.
Maybe the survival skills.
Oh, not
Could it help?
survival.
It's all
They
about the
basically just
delivery.
went
I
towards
don't
the
have
gold all the
creative.
time because it looks like a banana.
Oh.
Happy 14
Ah,
wow.
wow.
joined the
That's
space.
fun.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about that, Happy? Happy, what do you think about a monkey playing Minecraft?
A monkey playing Minecraft.
Yeah,
That
you're
would be
coming at the
really
right
funny.
time. Welcome to
topic
Tech
to
Waffle
join
there,
in.
Happy.
That would be hilarious, and I would love that to actually happen.
There you go. Well, according to Dusty, there's evidence on the
yeah.
internet
Well,
of it
I
existing.
think
I'm
there's
going to
a
look
lot
at
of
that video
monkeys
now.
that-
I need to find it.
Oh,
They also
look
got
at
monkeys
this.
that prefer to play
They're able to
against
stack
online
themselves
and
up.
like 12-year-old.
It was on the internet.
Oh,
True.
Bye bye. Bye bye,
Yeah,
Dusty
sounds
and
like
Co.
something that could be real.
Oh my
See you later,
god, what's
guys.
going on there?
Oh
They're
shit.
flying off out into the galaxy. They have ascended.
Yeah.
They have ascended to the next form of existence.
Like
Oh,
Oh, they're gone.
Well,
Oh, no.
bye-bye.
So this is a great little tangent
Hi,
here to talk
guys.
about relativity. Okay, so
Yeah.
General relativity.
I'm joking.
The best scientific one of the best.
So if they trademarked Monkeycraft.
Monkey crap. Great.
Monkeycraft.
Yeah, we're
What's
coming
the
up
draft
to
Studios.
4 minutes. So just a heads up there for Shizeki.
Oh, nice.
Does
That's
anybody know when the
great.
first transistor came out? I don't.
Transistor,
Random question.
1950 something, I think.
Oh, I'd say it was the
Okay.
20 straight after
That,
Roswell.
they used
you go.
tubes before then. What was it?
Oh, really? Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Straight after Roswell.
Well,
It just happens to
It
line
was
up.
IBM made the first transistor, right? If I remember correctly, it
Yeah.
was IBM.
Yes.
There were
Yep.
two
Yeah.
groups
IBM
who
was
got
founded
together pretty
the day after Roswell.
Monkeycraft.com, where even the bananas have a say.
Interesting.
There we go.
Computers used to take up whole entire rooms just for like 4 megabytes of RAM or 4 megabytes of
Yeah,
storage. An
yeah.
entire room that when it was super hot and needed to be ventilated.
Super
It
hot.
came from that. Super hot. Super hot. Yes.
Yeah, my dad
Rooms
used to do that.
full of
You run
tape.
the cards through to do 4 plus
What
4.
is that? I've seen pictures of it. I'm like, whoa. Interesting. Times.
Yeah.
there's
Buy
a
Super
famous
Hot as well.
one
Great
at the
tangent there.
University of
Buy Super Hot.
California.
Great game.
Yeah, Super Hot's great. Although we would like some more content. Super Hot
Yes.
Productions. If you're listening, if you're watching
Keep,
this,
yeah, if maybe it could
If you're
shove a
out
boot
there-
up their ass for Super Hot more, Super Hotter, or something.
yes, let's
whatever they're
get-
gonna
let's get
do.
it up. If you don't do it, we're going to do it here, right? We're going to build it on Banter. We're going to build.
Yes. We can do it.
We can do it. We
Sequel
can
is
do it.
super cool.
Super cool.
Super cool. Yeah.
Kind of cool. Maybe.
Yes. Kinda cool. Kinda cool.
Kind of cool. Colon. I
Slightly.
don't know. Maybe.
The new game. It's not a game. It's just a level in Banter.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Right. Well, look.
Alright.
That's us coming
Yeah,
up
we're
on
on
the
the-
hour pretty much.
Great-
So I'll
great
wrap
waffle.
her up for this live stream. Okay, so imagine you're at the end of a corporate video, but you're just one branch of that corporate, right? And everybody gets to make their own little ending for their local video. So we're all waving like we're a corporate employee. Everybody wave like you're a corporate employee to the video
Oh,
stream.
yeah.
Yay. We are some happy little worker beans.
Hey
that's
there, we
great.
like good this cool that we're all in together.
Yeah.
Hi.
We do this once a week. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks for the waffle.
Thanks so much.
We
Thanks so much,
have,
Shane.
let's see.